Electronics?
Electrical and electronics engineering.
Electrical and electronic engineering. What is that? What is electrical? What is electronics? So like you see, the reason why I'm asking that because tunauzanga electronics. So what does it involve actually? Mtu asifikirie ni vile unauzanga electronics.
It is as literal as it sounds. It's all electrical appliances, the electrical process ya kutoa steamer from the dams kuileta to the households. It's just the whole process. Also, it's electronics, but then electrical and electronics is a course is a lot much deeper. Especially for me, I did something called the power option, because when you come to electrical and electronics, you have the power option and you have telecommunication options. So in power options, you learn a lot, like you learn about analog electronics, you learn about digital electronics. Basically what we are doing right now, analog electronics is more fancy. It's about the transistors, you know, how you combine these components to make a complete efficient hardware, you know. And then there's the digital one now, when it's all about programming the electronics.
Okay.
You also learn about automation. We have things like PLC and SCADA, which is a bit broad. You also learn under electrical and electronics. You know, now the irony of it is people think, ukiwaambia nimefanya electrical and electronics, they just expect to see you in roofs ukifanya wiring.
Yes, like now I was almost asking you, ukikuwa na shida na hapa stima, we expect you to do something. Amplifier, ukiwa na shida utengeneza.
Sasa hizo amplifier, it's actually that analog electronics. It's basically just transistors. Yeah, just the amplification of it. Yeah, I can do that, but as I said, it's a bit way broad. So you can just choose your path, and I think for me, I choose automation and the digital path. Yes.
So what? So if somebody probably before we come back there, so if there's somebody there would be interested in doing a course like you did, what opportunities are there? Ama ni mtu asome degree ashidange tu kwa kitambia akona degree lakini hakuna, I mean, what is in there for them?
There are a lot of opportunities because first of all, sites are coming up each and every day. Like hata hapa kuna ujenzi. Like I don't think with an engineering course you can really say that hauna options. When it comes to electrical, because I've also seen my comrades, the students who used to school with, especially the guys, even when we were in class, they used to go to site work. Na wanafanya wiring, and then kidogo they upgraded. Now they have registered companies. Some of them unapata mtu anachukua site, you are able to deliver wiring as expected. Also there are employment opportunities in the world of automation. Let's say even when it comes to what, like there are just so many opportunities, you can't really go hungry. Yes.
Okay, so probably to ask, so like people work in Kenya Power, in such places, those are some of the courses they need to have. The course they need to have done.
Yeah, some of them, especially the ones who work in substations and those power harvesting stations. I think. But basically, yes, you need a lot of electrical knowledge to be working in a company like
that's what they are dealing with.
Yes.
Na sasa kama mafundi wa hizi vitu pia, you need some skills in that. Of course, kuna wengine wenye wanasomanga through others, they are trained and all that. So that's understandable. Now, coming back to digital skills for kids, in your own understanding, why is it important for us to have those skills to our kids? Why is it important? Is it a must? I mean, why should we?
It is important because of the era that we are in. The wheel is not turning back, really, is it?
No,
We
no.
can only go
Yeah,
forwards.
sure.
And like for example, I think I was in a school where I was also introduced to computer as an early age, at an early age. At the age we used to do now the basic computer packages, the Microsoft Word, the PowerPoint,
Yes, Excel.
Excel, and then we would also get a lot of alone time in the computer lab, and we would also be doing a lot of artwork. So we also explored with a bit of designing. I can't remember. I think it was called word art.
Yeah, yeah, what that? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it was
Yes,
called
it's the
word
one.
art. So we
Yeah.
used to explore with these things, and I think it would be very selfish if we gave the same thing to the children at this age, or if we denied them a chance to explore computers in the same way that we did. Because I think that proximity to computers is one of the things that gave me direction to be here where I'm at. So I am sure that once we expose them to skills like these at such an age, let's say 10 years later, the children cannot be that lost.
Sure.
Yes.
And of course, you see where the world is currently, everything is becoming, digital. It's technology, digital, and all that.
Yes.
So it's important for us, I believe, to and not only for kids, even mwenye ako hapo na labda advance in years, currently everything is going that way. If you look at like days of old, hata huku Mwea tu tulikuwa tunatumia zile weights za kuinua, and all that.
Yeah.
But currently ni digital weighing scale,
Yes.
So if somebody doesn't understand, vile mambo iko itakuwa ngumu sana kwao. And I think it's something that is very important. Last time we talked about things like it boosts creativity, problem solving skills, helps the kids to, to have that ability to solve problems when they appear and all that. Now, so here we have a child, and your desire is they don't just have that phone or that tablet, and the only thing they can do is games, right?
Yeah.
So, what areas are you majoring on in terms of training kids on the skills?
We start them off on the basic program, the most basic programming language. Besides the teaching them the usual ways, the surface level way a computer works. Of course, that is the first area.
Like introduction.
The introduction.
Computers, yeah.
Yes, you tell them how a computer works, the process of the input, the processing, and the output. You try to explain it to the kids how how it works. And then now, for us, because we are really trying to create a tribe of critical thinkers. Yes, we start them off with a programming language that is more digestible for children. It's called Scratch programming because they don't have to come up with the instructions themselves, or rather uh, the blocks, the instructions blocks. There are instruction blocks that are already there. So it's just the children being taught how to think in terms of designing what they are creating, and then now arranging those blocks in a way that it forms a complete lines of code that can give you a desired output. I'm not sure if that was
So what's that Scratch now? So is it a coding language or
Yes,
what
it
is it?
is a programming language.
So programming
Yes,
language.
that is now designed to start off the children on it. It is much more digestible for the children. So once the child knows how to arrange the code, it's called code sequencing. Once they learn to do that, and once they learn how to give certain commands or instructions so that a program can respond in a certain way, now they can be able to move on to more complicated languages like Python, C++, Ruby. There are so many of them. But for a child who has no prior proximity to any programming language, the best one to start them off with is Scratch. Yes, and so that is what actually
It's
we are doing
because
this
that
holiday.
word sounds like, you know, kakituna, kuna scratch and all that.
Yeah.
So for them, the scratch you're saying, it's like it's already prepared. Kuna kakitu kapri hapo, so they just need to continue, understand from here.
Yes.
So something is already set.
Yes.
So from there, you ask yourself, now, how do we get to the next? So they are not starting from scratch, although you need to scratch. They are not starting from scratch, right?
Yeah.
And then from there, they're able to continue improving on that.
Yes.
Later, now they can be able to start off something on their own.
Yes.
I think that's very interesting because you can imagine now if that was done to you at that point in time. Probably you'll be the owner of Oracle.
Tell me about it. I would be.
Yeah,
I would be.
the Rari Harrison. Yeah.
But it's fine. So we try to give the
Yeah.
chances to our kids so that we see what we can harvest in 10 to 15 years out of them. Yes.
So the company you are in right now.
Yes.
So you need to remind us the name of the company, and then what made the ones who came up with the company or starting of the company to come up with such, you know, a huge work which is targeting Africa, and then are we just in Kenya or we are in other places?
So, Afritech Code House is actually a bit broad because we have a department, yeah, enterprises only, enterprise solutions. And this is where we offer corporates, NGOs, government institutions, individuals, enterprise solutions in terms of maybe websites, any softwares you need, like POSs, database management systems, all of these things. They are handled under the Afritech Enterprise Solutions. And then we have the Afritech Hardware Hub, where we now supply. We supply these hardwares, the laptops, the tablets, and we also now have the technical and training department, which was actually started as a CSR because we realized there was a gap. There was a very big distance between our children and the children, let us say in the global West. Yeah. What they can do, our children can only consume. They cannot create as them, you know. So we decided that we are going to create a curriculum that is fit for a 10 to 15-year-old or 16-year-old to digest and become a creator themselves, and hence putting them on the same platform to compete with a child in China. Okay, like give them some sort of an equal chance, because the same way a child would grow up in China saying, I want to work for Google one day. I would love to hear a child who has been so opened in their mind that they know that there's a company like Google actually that I can work for when I am 15. You know, because that is happening. That is happening. Actually, when it comes to programming, it doesn't matter so much about age and papers and whatnot. It matters about skill. Yeah. So you'll find a 15 years old, what you'll call a minor, working for very big American or global corporations because of the skill that they have in creating games and whatnot. So we are trying to make our children as competitive as the other kids in the global West. Yes.
Because I think I also, it will be a joy also for me, like to see productions from African children. Because like you say, we know our settings, the way we are, the setup in Africa, our culture and all that. Like I told you last time, sometimes you see these cartoons, just wazungus, you know, and all that. And the African child is not able to relate completely.
There is no that black representation.
Yes, hakuna representation. So they cannot easily be able to relate. And that's why unaonanga wakijiangalia and then wanaona kale cartoon kamzungu and they are like, mimi kwani tunakaa, you know, that's why issues of self-esteem and all that begins as self-image.
It is true.
Yeah, so we need to create something that is so local that somebody can be able to easily identify with it.
Yes.
Including the songs. Why not have the wheels on a bus ikiwa na Kiswahili, like that. They create, programs and all that are custom made purely for Africa.
Yeah.
Just like I have a problem with hizi mavitu zinawekangwa nguo kwa boutiques.
The dummies.
The dummies. Kwani lazima tukiwe na dummies na kai?
You really are fighting for representation.
Because kwa nini tukuwe na dummies za wazungu na tukuwe na Afrika?
I understand you.
Kutengenezwe mavitu zina hata kama si black sana.
I am very Pan-African by the way, so I understand you and I support you fully.
Yes, because you say that the devil is black.
Who said so, actually?
You see?
Yes.
So we need, and you see, that's why I also try my best to make sure that whenever I go, even in schools, huwa naacha nimechochea principles sana. This idea of having a blackboard written by a white chalk is imperialist. So let's have a whiteboard and make sure that your teachers have a black pen. So that we need to tell the world that black can also write on white.
You're so right. I respect you so much for those thoughts.
Yeah, so that so we need, and I'm so happy of people like I've seen people even from Africa, like Strive Masiwa. He's from Zimbabwe, the owner of Econet.
Yes.
And he's doing great work in making sure that, and he has started a company in South Africa called Mfungi, which is AI based.
Okay.
It's offering solution to Africa. Yeye ndiye ameleta mpaka easy liquid technology and all that. Yeah. He's a man, you can follow him up. He's doing great work. He's the richest black man in UK. So nice. He's doing a lot in terms of technology, and so equipping Africa, an African child for the same. So I think inafaa sasa connect juu anafanya kazi mingi sasa.
Yeah, and you had actually asked about us even in Kenya only.
Yes.
We actually have another center in Nigeria. We do have partners working with us, and we have kids in Nigeria studying under Afritech Kids Space. And with time, we hope to be in the 54 states of Africa.
All over, yeah, it's important.
Yes.
And of course, tukwaza tutasaidia Uganda.
Yeah.
Abra tuwapatie Indian Ocean,
tuwapatia masomo.
Na neiba wengine hapa yetu chini hapa viumbe tutawasaidia pia.
Well,
so now after the kid has learned these skills and all that, let's bring them now to where they in the digital space. Now, what are some of the security measures they are supposed to take, or you're supposed to take when we have kids now online and all that? Because eventually that's where they will find themselves into, right? So how can we make sure that the kids are secure, they are secure on the digital space? Will you understand what's happening nowadays?
Yes. As part of our curriculum, we do have a class that focuses on ethical representation and unethical representation on the online space. So first of all, we train our kids on the ethical ways, on how to handle the digital space, and also what they should take from the digital space. So that is our first line of defense as Afritech, training the child. Yeah. And also now for additional measures is having computers and tablets that are controlled by the parents, so that or the trainers, so that their sites, they are sites that they have no access to. The sites that they only need to create are the ones that they have access to. Yes.
Let's come to cyber security and all that. How will we make sure that our kids are safe?
In which way?
We have a lot of bullying and such stuff.
Yeah.
and they are online and all that. You remember there was even like kitambo kidogo, there was a game that kids were playing, and the end of that game was somebody would commit suicide. I don't know if you remember, there was such a case.
Yeah.
So how do we make sure that even online these kids are safe? And like if someone decides to bully them, how are they supposed to carry themselves around that?
Well, at the moment, we are not giving them like full access on the social media spaces where
Yeah.
they have their own accounts to run, because we still have to protect their minds for them to be able to go through the whole academic journey with healthy minds. So we are not giving them that on full online access. I think that is one of the ways. Unfortunately, yes, we have a bullying culture. So I think what the best we can do is train them on that mind tenacity, so that once they get out there, they should just focus on giving the world their work. You know, so whoever attacks you like on your personal identity, that is just a messed up person. Because if they wanted to criticize, they should have criticized your work, not you as a person. You know, and I think that is just mind tenacity and resilience that we have to teach the children, because bullies are there, they'll never stop to be there. So you just have to be the stronger person, the bigger person. Yes.
All right, and I think that's very key. That and it's not just for the kids. It's that the point you have brought across is not just for the kids, because we have so many bullies online currently, and so unless you focus with what you're doing, and people begin to come and attack you and all that, and you begin to respond to them, you're going to waste your time. And in fact, you'll even create, because someone who has decided to see something wrong with you, they always see, they always focus. Like, and you see, people are very pessimistic, by the way. If you are to have like a piece of paper like A4, and then work it took a dot parent and then you tell somebody to describe, you'll be able to understand the kind of people we are having. Somebody will tell you it's a white paper with a black spot. Can you imagine that whole A4? The only thing they have seen is the dot. Yet we have the white space. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, like I think it's human nature. Like I think we're drawn to the imperfection. Yeah, only that if you're intelligent, emotionally intelligent, you can overlook the small imperfection and look at the greater good. Unfortunately, we're dealing with the masses. Like most people will not take their sweet moments, sweet seconds to think this is bigger than that small spot you're talking about. And that is where the problem comes in, because I think most issues with the bullies is their own inner world. Yeah, like yours is so messed up. Once you look at something else that is as white like that, you have to look for that blemish. I think it's just something like that. Yeah.
Ni mambo personal, mtu ako na maisha zake na project
exactly, that is actually it. Yeah. So in such a case, you cannot really, unless you just teach the child like you have to be stronger, you have to be bigger than that person. There is nothing else you can do, because once they are actually, it's also, the education process is also a preparation process. Yeah. So once you're outside there, you're done with your school, you're in the world, what are you gonna do if someone just sees your blemish instead of your the whole you? What are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna start explaining to him or to her that there's nothing wrong with you, it's just a small imperfection? Are you gonna start explaining to them, or are you just going to go on being your awesome self?
So are you saying we owe nobody an explanation?
No, we don't. You owe no one an explanation. Like, you're wonderfully and beautifully made. This was zingine zote ni kelele.
It's none of your business. And that's what people need to understand, because it's something that will always be there. Watu watakuwa, tuna watu ni watu. watu watakuwa tu, and I've realized no matter how good you are, somebody will always see something else, you know. If you're brown, they will say you are almost becoming an albino. If you are black, go back to Sudan. See,
Yeah.
so people
Oh
always
my
have
gosh.
something they are saying. So unless sasa wewe mwenyewe you like you said, uko na your mental agility, you are stable enough,
Yes.
you believe in yourself, you know who you are. If you give people that space, they'll bring you down. Now utaanza kupata na depression.
Exactly.
And of course we have seen that especially online and all that.
Yeah.
Now something else before we come now to a general discussion, because we'll have like a general discussion at the end of it all. The issue of content creation. We have kids who are also gifted, right?
Yes.
So na hiyo content so wanaileta huku kwa
Yeah.
to that space. So how do we help kids who are gifted wako na content in a way that they'll be able to package that content yao na iwete in that space, considering that hata kama ni nzuri aje bado kuna mtu atasema ujinga huko. So how do we prepare that kid and bring them to this place where they are on those platforms, no matter what happens, they will still remain and continue their work. But we have started from identifying and all that, and how do we help them to be able to? And have you seen kids who are like that?
Yeah, I've seen talented kids shining bright on social media pages. And I think when it comes to that, the burden falls on the parents because you have to protect your child. You want what is best for the child. So you're not going, even Jesus said, like, you cannot light a candle and then you hide it away. If your child is a star, it's a star, you know? Like, and if you've decided to share that star with the world, you're going to like take on a lot of the burden. The trolls that you're going to see on the pages, I think that is information you keep to yourself as a parent and you don't share it to the child. Maybe now as the child grows, you can sensitize them and tell them social media is not the heaven, you know, like you just prepare them as time goes by so that by the time you're handing over the account when they are of age, they are aware that these things happen, they are prepared and they know how to move forward, carrying their light without being afraid of the trolls or the bullies. So at least when it comes to minors, I think the responsibility of protecting them from social media bullies just is a burden of the parents, and they should just keep it. Yeah.
Yeah, and also the kids themselves also, just like you said, as parents and teachers, you also need to help them, believe in themselves
Yes.
and have confidence in who they are. Because not just in social media, even in school, you always find some and down. So I think we also need to, help them be able to stand their ground. And at times also, like my mom told me, there's a time tukicheza hivi, unagonga na katoto, then unakimbia kwa nyumba kuambia mom, haya anakutuliza, unaenda tena unagongwa. The last time when I came there, mom was like, hey, my friend, you are man enough, do this. Wanakusumbua, mnasumbua nao, bila atakufanyia mfanyie 2 times.
Same.
Yes. Sasa sikalikuja kunigonga. Kwanza mimi hata sikugonga, nilipikisha chini vizuri. I think palijichora kama mtu kanakaa kama Kenya. So I think we also need to help our kids.
Yes, I think that is part of that character development. But you see, the issue of a child being bullied by a child of their own age is different than a child being bullied by an adult on social media. You see, it's not the same. It's not the same. Juu hii ya utoto, unaelewa ni utoto.
Of course.
Ni utoto. You know, and that is I think that is the most natural process. Kuliko hii ya social media, the parent has to cover the child. Hii ingine ndo sasa hiyo ni age yako, unaambiwa sasa wewe enda hata wewe ufanyie hivyo. You know? Yeah.
Sasa let's come to these 2 things. One, I want us to have a general discussion on social media itself as a space which has opportunities. I think people are earning from social media, right?
Yeah.
Now, as general as it is, and then we have the other group that is always there waiting for something, they begin to attack. people and all that, they do. Like now we have this case which has been there, the Tibayo's death, issue of Kanyari, Tash, Mtoto and all that. I mean, what is your honest opinion and feeling about, especially when I saw them trolling the kid, Kasichana Kanyari? What came into your mind about the kind of digital space we have, and what should we do?
For real, it's a toxic space, and I think for me, when I look at it, it looks like it's out of control because this is a child, first of all, and worse, it's a grieving child.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Lost the mother.
like it's a grieving child. Like, what do you mean you're starting insinuating things? And like, it's so sad, it's heartbreaking to watch her, like, but I also feel like she could have a social media at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are sober adults surrounding her, to protect her from this space, but she's gonna come back and she's gonna see all these things, you know. So it's unfortunate, and I do think actually these laws that are talking about governing the social media spaces, these bills, they should be there. They should be intact
Because I
because
think we have become very mannerless.
it is becoming too toxic. It's flowing. If it's flowing down to the children, then it has to have some control.
Because what would be in someone's mind deciding to attack a kid? You know?
It's inconceivable. I don't have an answer to that. I don't know because I could never conceive a reason enough to bully a child, and worse, a grieving child. You know, so like you'll be left there wondering what type of a person are you? Like, where do you come from? Who raised you? You know?
Yeah, because I mean, you can't imagine someone has lost a close person in their life, especially like the kids. That's their mother. And then you are there, you are an adult, mtu tu anajiita mtu mzima, and then hebu kwanza tu address sai, but Wakenya tuko na tabia mbaya sana. Now we are saying this because the digital space has become so toxic, especially social media. What would be in someone's mind? You know, you're calling yourself an adult, yet you're trolling a kid. Unatukanana mtoto, unaongea vibaya, and most were grieving child. I think as much as tunateta mambo ya the laws that are being set and all that to govern social media, we totally agree. Okay, if there are issues with the bills and all that, that can be checked out, but we need control, and especially ikifika mahali hatuwezi jicontrol wenyewe, lazima tutakontroliwa. So why don't we man up? What happens to skills like empathy? How do you troll somebody who is grieving their mother, grieving their father and all that? So Wakenya, tafadhali ni vizuri tukue na manners na tujue vile tutaishi pamoja. You can bully Mohozi. You can bully these other people, but
because they are also bullying you.
Yes, because they are also bullying us. Like Uganda now, we can really bully them, you know, because they are also bullying us, you know. But kids, let's allow kids to be kids and give them. Sijui ama tunaweza kuwa na social media kwa watoto pekee. Wakange na huko watu wazima tunasumbua.
No, like let's ask adults to be more responsible and more accountable. Like even an adult, be an adult, create a safe space for a child. It's not too hard to ask for.
Because ukiona mtu anafanya hivyo social media in the literal place, in the physical place, hiyo ni mtu pia anaweza hamu mtoto.
Actually, it's true.
Yeah, it's only that huyu ni mtu anajificha social media, au ni pedophilia hawa. Mtu anajificha social media. If you are to come on the ground, huyu ni mtu anaweza fanya mtoto vibaya.
It's true.
Yeah,
it is true.
I mean things that are unconceivable anyway. So tumesema adult, if you are an adult, make sure you become an adult. In fact, ukiwa adult na una behave hivyo tunakushuku. You are not, because an adult should be adulting, you know, and all that. And let's give our kids space na tujiangalie kama Wakenya, tuone vile mioyo yetu iko. more like empathy. Empathy is where, I don't just feel for you. I'm entering into your shoes and can be able to walk with them for a mile
Yeah.
or so.
Yeah.
So I think we have that problem now. Tukuje sasa hapa kwa mambo jenu. Tumeona social media imekuwa like ndio ina shape opinions on relationships, on marriage, on career. I mean, so many things are happening on social media that it has become like the bonded day thing and all that. This is a question to you. What is your view about what's happening on social media, especially on matters to do with relationships?
When it comes to social media, I treat it like the dark ages.
What do you mean?
Like, you know, it's also a problem, I think, with the engineering, because what does the algorithm reward? You know? And also, this brings us back now to what you're saying about creating our own things, because these are things that we are using that are created uko mayu, you know. What does their algorithm rewards? It rewards violence. It rewards rage bait. Like, for me to trend, I just need to say something so outrageous, you know, something inconceivable, and by tomorrow morning, everyone will be knowing my name. You know. So what does the algorithm reward? So once the people see that, if you are that drawn to that fame, that visibility, are you really gonna care? Yeah. And also now the rewards of these algorithms comes with now the money aspects. Yeah. uh, Everyone is crying over the economic whatnot. So someone you'd want to take advantage of that and make a living for yourself. So you'll just get a microphone, a camera, just start saying outrageous things, and you're gonna get paid. You see, someone else is gonna see that and realize, oh, so all I need is just a microphone, and start to say, I hate women, or I hate men, and I do this, rah, 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 rah. They do the same. You see, and now, like, the darkness in ongezeka. I mean, social media is a dark age for me, you know.
So is it so it's an issue of our reward system has been it's very skewed, like we are rewarding mediocrity and all that, so that mtu akiamuka na maujinga zake, they don't even mean what they are saying. They want to create content and all that, and then out of that, the more the views, the more the likes, the more I get paid.
Yes.
So are you saying that we need to refocus on that?
It is one of the ways. Again, personal responsibility also is another thing, because I think if you are sober enough, you'd realize what you're putting out in the world is not really right, and you can find other ways to make money. But as far as we've come, we should learn that we cannot rely on the personal responsibilities of a million people, you know. So yes, the algorithm, if we had algorithms that rewarded purpose, that rewarded visionaries, that rewarded sense, I think the world would be a much better place. And maybe the generation that we are raising will become creators who create algorithms that reward in such a way.
Yeah, I agree with you, because if there's a way we can be able to, like the owners of social media platforms, the ones which are paying, TikTok, Facebook, X, and all that, is that they need to seriously have people who are able to look into what are people posting. It's your account, but remember, we are the creators of the app, and we are the ones who are paying you for this. So we need to ask ourselves, Yes, we are just like if I was to give you some work, I need to come and check whether you did what we said and then pay you. I can decide not to pay you depending on the way things are. So that now, I don't know whether, like in Kenya, we have TikTok offices,
I think
you
they
know,
are. Mhm.
and if they are there, then they are not very serious because they are the ones who wanafaa kuwa akiangalia ni nini huyu tunamlipa 1,100 ni kwa sababu gani, and because they are already in the local place like in Kenya, kama ni ya Kiswahili they have somebody who is able to translate for them and tell them okay, huyu alikuwa anasema hivi na hivi na hivi, hii na hii tabia si nzuri, hii mambo unaona amesema ni ya wagadho ni that and then you are like say this one we can't reward this kind of stuff. I mean, do you think that is possible?
I think that is in a major way. I would think that is our African way of thinking, or the indigenous. Let me not say African because there are other indigenous communities around the world. It is the indigenous way of thinking because in the old world there was that aspect of community and Ubuntu and whatnot. Yeah. But right now we're living in a capitalistic world, you know. I don't think the creator would care about what you're putting out more than what is getting into his pockets. You see? And actually, that is where the problem is. Because if the creator doesn't hold such beliefs, there's nothing that they're going to do about it. Yeah. So I think what they have tried to control on is the extremes, like maybe like child harassment, sexual harassment, pedophilic material, bestialic material, like zile zenye yani ukisikia hata wewe unatetemeka. I think that is only the type of content that they've tried to censor. But hii ingine sijui, it's about gossip, it's about talking. I don't think they care.
Yeah, but they should begin to care because they should also. I think we need one day to have someone who can take them to court. Why? You are allowing in your platform somebody to come and character assassinate someone or mudsling someone, and whatever they are saying is not necessarily true, and you never took time to investigate and all that. I mean, is there a possibility where do you have such laws in that space where I can?
They are not there because by the time you're also joining such apps, you'll agree on their terms and conditions.
And you don't care to read about terms and
na
conditions.
sisi ni wale unaangalianga tu I
agree.
You know, so I don't think it can really work because it's their policies that you agreed to.
I think with the time, I think, and I think that's what like this bill which is being introduced in Kenya, I've not read it, I've not gone through it, so I think it's something that we need to go through and try to discuss. We also give our honest opinion.
Yeah, we should actually, because I am somehow in support. I've been silently in support of it.
Yes. Have you gone through it?
Pointers. Niliona two pointers za the most sober people, the sober people, you know. Who are putting out the pointers, and I was like, this sounds good because
if it's kama vile iko ndivyo wanasema, then sawa tuende nayo. Unajua ni kama vile our brothers from the other side of the lake walikuwa wanasema kama baba amesema
hiyo
baba akisema hiyo katiba sio nzuri,
Not really. Not really. I think I haven't found some good time to sit down. And then, like, I think we are also oversensitized with a lot in Kenya. Like, there's a lot of politics. So at some point, you just be like enough of these. Like, fanyeni venye mnataka,
as long as you're not interfering with my life and all that.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, good. So thank you so much. I think we are getting something. We are talking about digital skills for your kids, and we are saying that this long holiday in Kenya, make sure your kid learns a skill. And we are very fortunate, especially around Mwea, Kirinyaga, because Afritech Courthouse, they are here with us. We have a center at Oasis of Love Church, Mwea. The other one is in Mwea Brethren, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Mwea Brethren just around here. And the kids have been here, I think, for almost the last 2 weeks now, and they will be here for the whole month. And charges are very favorable, 3,500. You cannot get such anywhere else, only in Afritech Courthouse. Hakuna mahali pengine utapata bei kama hiyo. And it will be a wonderful thing for you as a parent to sacrifice and make sure your kid is learning something. And if you're not able to bring them along to learn with us, make sure they learn something else, like either swimming. Okay, you cannot take them for driving; they are still young. But look for a skill your kid can learn throughout this holiday. Na hiyo itakupatia amani sana ukienda kwa kazi zako. You're not just leaving them in the house, you're leaving them doing something with their lives and all that. We are almost coming to the end of our today's program, and we are so grateful. If you have any question or comment, we'll be glad to hear what you're saying, and we'll be able to answer you. Now, hii generation yenu sasa, hii ni ya kumalizia. Unajua ile ya kumalizia tunakuanga na ka moment kakamoshene kidogo tukimalizia content show, so we are contending.
Okay.
Opinion yako na relationships? Na wewe uko wapi? Isikue kuna mtu anakaa pale na ako na hopes ya I'm waiting for the host to tell the guest to give them.
Well, for me, mimi kwa maoni yangu, I do respect the institution of marriage, but I approach it with a lot of caution. I have seen how detrimental it can be, and I have seen how amazing it can be. You know,
on both sides.
On both sides, but you know, as an engineer, also you have to have facts with you so that you can be able to move forward. You know, like you have to do your very critical analysis of what you're handling. So I do know it can be very detrimental, and I do know it can be very amazing, depending on how you show up as a person and how also your partner shows up for you. Unfortunately, we don't get a lot of representation of healthy marriages and healthy relationships on social media, and that is, I think, our most common place here to consume. When you're gathering information, should they get into a relationship at what age? So you find there's a lot of misinformation. I've also been misinformed at some point, but I did a lot more digging on the same social media, kwa ground sasa, and you find there are amazing marriages. So mimi, I think I would say kila mtu afanye venye anataka.
What's an advice?
Kila mtu afanye venye anataka. Ukitaka kuingia kwa ndoa, ukitaka kukaa, like you just fact find and then you make the decision yourself.
Wewe umemalizana na hiyo story. Sasa unasikia my guest amesema za kila mtu, you younger generation, kila mtu afanye kile anataka. Anyway, that is not to mean actually wewe ndio ufanye kile unataka. The issue is fact find for yourself. And like she has said, we have so many negative information on relationship and marriage on social media that if you want to fact find, hizo ndio zina pop up, right? So if you're like having you're doing a research on 10, 8 ni negative, so eventually you see that will be the conclusion of your thesis, like it does not work. Why? And you have statistics, you know, that's what they do, which may not necessarily be true. I think we need to put more, you know, more content on the positive side.
There's a lot of bias, unfortunately. Now once the ones who try, okay, it's not all, like I don't know if I have a healthy social media couple. I don't think maybe
wengi wako huko, wengi wako kwa
hivyo vitu. The Obamas.
So I think we need to
know. But the problem is once they start putting out those healthy loving marriages on social media, you start to realize of the power imbalance. Mostly And I think these are a bit more sensitive, but mostly you find that this is not biased, by the way, or maybe it's just my finding, but you find especially representation from the church couples. It is usually the woman having gone through so much to cover the man, you know, and I don't want to take part in that. You know, like I don't want to be put through abuse, through neglect, through cheating and all of these. Just to say that my man changed after 10 years. Like all these 10 years, I was just holding him down. Like that is the representation that is pushed forward for healthy marriage couples. It's couples who overcame. But once you look at what they overcame, like give me something you overcame, like a medical ailment, you overcame childbearing issues, you overcame a financial hard time. Like, don't give me these other, you know. Yeah, I think that is the content that would make sense to be pushed out because, of course, as a normal human being, you know that you can get married and you're okay today financially, but maybe 5 years later something will happen and you'll dip. You see, if I would find a healthy couple that tells me we overcame this financial struggle for 4 years, but don't mention cheating there.
No, si ati ulivumilia
See at alcoholism. What are you saying? You know, like I think it's that we call it struggle love, and struggle marriage. I think that is now the representation of what is healthy, and now there is this other toxic. So I think that is why, for me, for something that is healthy, I think I just look up at the Obamas, as much as it's a bit controversial, but I just love their partnership and what it has achieved.
And you know, just like you said there, and I think you have said this over and over again, when you begin to bring yourself to people to try and help them and show them, you see guys, kuna hii mmezoea, but you also have these other bit yenye we need to begin to bring about and change things. Wale tu tulikuwa tunasema ndio sasa wanakujanga, hata tuko na information ya Obama yenye amjui, hata tuko na Michelle yenye amjui. See, so we still want to make sure even the good that we should be learning from, we may dismantle. I think it's like there's a very serious agenda to make sure we make sure everything is toxic. Because like you're saying about Obama and all that, I also admire them and I read a lot about them.
Yes.
But if I do huko tu kuna mtu atatafuta kikitu tu,
na
we tend to believe the controversy than more than what I am telling you about myself. You don't want to believe that. That part. No, I think we are very interesting.
Yeah. But I think now for me, how to overcome that is just having that focus. Like, what has their part? Because again, an unhealthy marriage, an unhealthy relationship, no matter how you try to cover it, there is things it cannot achieve. Yeah? If they were that unhealthy, I don't think their partnership would have achieved what they have achieved.
It would have gone down kitambo-san.
You know, like I feel like a marriage is some sort of a kitchen. It's where you prepare like what you offer the world. You know, you're two cooks working together. And I think the type of success that the Obamas have achieved over time, that is a lot. That is built on a lot of health.
No matter what we say.
That's 72, like
but 72, you can be able to see.
But I can see the fruit.
See the fruit.
See, like, I think it's also in the Bible. Tutajua kwa matunda yao.
So,
you know.
Hii ingine mnaongea ati huo mti kuna time ulikuwa na mzizi
umeoza. Exactly.
Well, so it's okay, but now we can be able to see we are judging
fruit.
With the fruit. So,
yes.
And that's what we need to begin to do so that we also, you know, learn from of course hakunanga mahali hakunanga issues 1 2 3 which are sorted na huko, but our focus is not that. Our focus is, you know, tuko na maembe hapa na iko sawa. So that's what we see, and I think it will greatly help us. Hii generation yenu anyway mnahitaji msaada sana, mko na mambo mengi sana. Mko watu sharp, knowledgeable and all that, lakini kuna kaeria na hapo kanahitaji mwingi sana. But anyway, I get your sentiment that there's a lot to be done. There's a lot to be done. Things have changed so much. It's not like kitambo. So kila mtu afanye research yake, make your conclusions. More so seek counsel. The Bible says in the multitude of counselors there is safety. Seek counsel as you make a decision either to be in a relationship, to be in marriage and all that. I mean, seek counsel and it will greatly help. And seek that counsel from the right people. You cannot be pregnant and you're going to seek counsel from someone who has ever aborted. You can imagine the kind of a counsel you're going to receive. You know, so you must also be very careful. To whom are you going to seek counsel and all that? True. Now, we're coming to the end of our show today. Digital skills for children, and not only children. We have talked about many things on the same scale on digital skills, and we really want to thank you for following up and listening to us, watching these programs and all that. I want to give my guest an opportunity to give parting remarks, and then we'll come to the end of the show today.
I think I'll just say, never forget that you're awesome. Whoever you are, wherever you are, never be blind to your own awesomeness, even if the world is blind to it. Otherwise, if you have a child between 10 and 15 who would love to join our classes, you can come register with us at Oasis of Love or at MweaOasis, and we'll be happy to walk this journey together.
All right, thank you so much. So this is Content Show. We are always here every Tuesday, 7:30 to around 9, discussing on matters that concerns our lives and all that. And we are so glad that you've been following us and watching us. And like we've always said, let's be very careful on digital spaces. Let adults be adults and let kids be kids. Let's make sure we are creating a safe space for our children. It's bad manners for you as an adult to bully a child on social media, and especially a child who is doing something that is commendable, you know. Na ni vile tu ulishindwa na maisha yako, ndio maana unakuja kusumbua social media. And by the way, when you see somebody bullying others on social media, kazi yake tu ni kutafuta negativity, kazi yake ni kuingilia watu. Huyo mtu ndiye ako na shida, by the way, sio wewe uko na shida. So muache. Don't you cannot, you know, waste all your gems or waste all your stones throwing at a dog that is barking. Allow such people to just go. They have their own issues. They are venting on, you know, on you and all that. So don't stop what you are doing because of somebody else. Because nimeona kuna watu wengine wanafunga mpaka account kwa sababu ya watu vile wamekubuli. Weka hapo ngumu, kuwa na mental agility and tenacity, and do not let people to bring you down. Because if you do that, even in the literal physical world, utakuwa na maissues mingi sana. Somebody will be saying something to you and just give up and let go. But we shouldn't be such kind of people. Anyway, Kenyans, Mungu atusaidie tukuwe na manners so that we create safe space for each other. So till we meet again next week, same place, same time, I'm always your host,